Hey guys, I want to try something different today and I hope this will work because I do want to be back in class face to face. But since we can't, I'm going to try it this way because we are in anatomy this week. Um, and why should we study anatomy? We're doing hair for goodness sakes, but we're also doing nails, we're doing facials, and I have already told y'all that consists of back facials. But when we're doing hair, facials, nails, we are also doing scalp manipulations. We're not just doing hair. When we just shampooing the hair, we're actually manipulating the scalp. Okay, so we need to know the places on the scalp. When we're doing the nails, we're going to be doing hand and arm massages. So we need to know what bones and what muscles we're dealing with. When we're doing the facials, we need to know what bones, what nerves, what muscles we're dealing with, and not just on the face, but around the face and in the décolleté area, and that's the chest area, and in the back. Okay, pedicures, we're going to be working with the feet and the legs. All right, so why study anatomy and physiology? This chapter will guide you and through all the body systems need to work and how they need to work together to achieve healthy hair, skin, and nails. And that is to start with anatomy, also called gross anatomy, the study of the human body structures, how the body parts are organized, and the science that's interconnected structures of organisms or their parts. Whereas physiology is the study of the functions or activities performed by the body structures. And behind me, I've got the skeleton and I've got the muscular system. Why do we need to know about muscles? We're not bodybuilders, but we do need to know about these muscles and why they are doing what they're doing, okay? So cosmetologist service affect the skin, the muscles, the nerves, the circulatory system. It affects everything. So scalp manipulations, facials, manicures, pedicures are all common cosmetology procedures that rely on understanding the human anatomy. Recognizing healthy hair, skin, and nails is an important infection control step as identifying conditions that require referral to healthcare professionals. Remember, diagnosing or treating illness is not within our cosmetologist's license or scope of practice. We cannot tell somebody that we feel like they have a disease or an incurable infection or anything like that. We just need to let them know that they need to see a physician for something that they have, and we do not need to touch it or try to treat it at all. Working with bones of the face and skull contributes to flattering haircuts, hairstyles, and makeup applications. In this chapter, you will learn that cells are the basic structures of all living things. I'm sorry that my stand is shaky. Tissues are made up of cells that are organized into layers or groups. Organs are groups of tissues that form complex structures and perform certain functions. Body systems contain organs that perform similar functions, and organisms are formed by groups of body systems. For example, the human body. So the cell and the structure functions. Again, all living things have cells. You have the nucleus, the cytoplasm, and the cell membrane. All right, we have tissues in our body, connective tissues. They're fibrous tissues that binds and supports other body tissues. That right there should tell you the definition of connective tissue when you see this again. So when you see something that says what tissue binds and supports other body tissues, binds, connects, okay? So right there is a reference to what that is. Epithelial tissue provides a covering that protects the body and is found within many parts of the body, such as skin and mucous membranes, digestive and respiratory organs, the lining of the mouth, and the lining of the heart and the glands. Nerve tissues carry messages to and from the brain and controls and coordinates the bodily functions. And muscle tissue, it contracts and moves various parts of the body. All right, so we've got the circulatory, the digestive, the endocrine, the excretory, the immune, the integumentary, the muscular, the nervous, the reproductive, the respiratory, and the skeletal system that we need to know all about, okay? So the skeletal system is going to be one of the first ones that we start to learn about. The joint, it connects. It's a connection between two or more bones. That's very easy to know, okay? So you know why you should know about the skull, right? Because you're learning about the hair, the head, and how to manipulate stuff. Well, what about the clavicle, which is your collarbone, okay? What do we need to know about this? What did I just say? This is your décolleté, and when you're given facials, we have the right to massage and treat this area, okay? So you will be right in here. Your humerus, your radius, your ulna. We're not going to mess with the pelvis, but you do need to know where this is. Your scapula, sternum, your ribs. Everybody should know where your ribs are and what they look like, okay? Your thoracic vertebrae, okay? Your spine, your lumbar vertebrae, your fingers, okay? This is also in your book. I'm going to tell you what pages you're going to find the the pictures that I'm going to have you to label, okay? So your fingers, you have your carpus, okay? You have your metacarpals right here. And then you have your phalanges. I know a lot of y'all probably watch Friends, and Phoebe always says her name is Regina Phalange, okay? Where do you think she got it from? All right, so then let's move on down to the leg, your femur. This is the hardest bone in your body. When you break your femur, you have really done some damage, okay? Then you have your patella, which is your knee, your fibula, which is your small bone in your leg, the bottom portion of your leg, your tibia, the bigger bone in the bottom part, and then you have your foot, which is your tarsals, your metatarsals, just like in your fingers, and your phalanges. Your toes are also phalanges, okay? Now, in the skull part, on pages 30 and 31, you're going to find how you will label this in Blackboard. You will have your parietal ridge, you got your occipital, your temporal, your zygomatic, your frontal, your sphenoid, and it is right behind your nose area, your ethmoid, your nasal, and everybody should know what the nasal is, your lacrimal, your maxilla, and your mandible. This is the hardest bone in your face, okay? So this is found on pages 30 and 31, okay? Now, let me get it. And this is what it'll look like, okay? Then you will have the bones of the arm and the hand, okay? And the bones of the foot and the leg. You will find these on pages 32 and 33. All right, let's talk about the muscles, okay? I'm going to go through more of this in next week's PowerPoint, but I want to go ahead and start doing some of this so you'll get to know more of what we're looking into, okay? So Let me get my book onto the muscles. Now, everybody knows what your deltoid is, right? All right. So how about in your face, you have your frontalis. All right, I just told you where your frontalis is for your skull. So your frontalis is up front, your temporalis, your orbicularis, oculi. What when you're talking about orbicularis, you should know it's your eyes. Okay. All right, so I'm going to tell you a word. Let me see if it's even in our new book. Yes, it is on page 35. Sternocleidomastoideus. This is your muscle right in here. This is the muscle that you use to bend your neck down, okay? It's the neck muscle that rotates the head and lowers the head, okay? So like I told my last class, once you get on the floor, it would just really stun your client if you would tell them, ma'am, would you please lower your sternocleidomastoideus so I can cut your neckline? And they would look at you and be like, what? Lower my what? What did you just call me? No, that's your neck muscle, ma'am, that lowers your head. And they're like, oh my goodness, I've really got a smart person doing my hair today. Okay, so this is your sternocleidomastoideus. It's a word about this long, okay? Okay, so your occipitalis. Well, if your occipital bone is right here, then your occipitalis should be right there too, right? Okay, then your platysma. All right, and I'm not going to go through every one of these, but let's go through your deltoid. Let me see if I can point up here to this. You have your deltoid muscles, okay? Your pectoralis muscles, all right, right in the chest area. Your biceps. What I'm trying to work on right now, my biceps. I'm trying to get rid of that second wave, okay? So I'm trying to work on my biceps. Your triceps on the inner part, okay? All right, then you have your supinators. And let me see where it would be on here, right in here, okay? And this is on in your book on page 37, okay? Then you have your pronator. It's right in this area, right here around your elbow, all right? Then your flexor, right in here, and that's right up here. And your extensors, right on the outside, okay? All right, so the lower leg, you've got the peroneus brevis, and it's going right down in this part of your leg. Okay, we know you got the gluteus maximus. All right, and then you got the extensor digitorum longus right in here, and extensor hallucis longus, and that'll be right in this area right in here. All right, and like I said, you will be drawing a skeleton or a body. We're going to do it in 3 since there's 3 people at each table, and you will do the skeleton side, the muscle, and then you can do the nerves kind of in the middle. You got the tibialis antera, and that is right in this part right here, okay? All right, then in the feet, and I know you really can't see the feet that good. Let me see if I have a foot with it on here. Nope, I don't. But you will be also labeling the deltoid, the muscles of the arm, okay? And the nerves of the lower leg. You will not be labeling the nerves of the lower leg because there is not a picture of it in your book, and I'm not giving you something that you do not have anything to relate it to. So you will be doing the muscles of the lower leg, okay? We'll take that part out. All right. And then on next week's, I will do the PowerPoint and you will answer your check-in questions, but you will not do it this week, okay? So safety considerations for the nervous system. Understanding how nerves work will help you perform services such as shampoos, massage, facial, and nail services in more proficient and safe manner. The nervous system is the body's messaging system, and certain conditions may interrupt messages and impulse. For instance, the nerves in your client's skin will signal the brain to determine their comfort and level in response to certain temperatures and pressures. If the water's too hot, if you're scrubbing too hard, if the blow dryer is too hot on their head. Uncontrolled diabetes, which is a disease influenced by the production of insulin, affects the nerves, vision, and immune system. To name a few, a person with diabetes may have neuropathy, a sensation loss in the extremities. If you were to do a pedicure treatment and the water was too hot, the client with diabetes may be unable to sense the burn and thus could not alert you. Consider modifying the service to perform a pedicure without a leg massage, or consider a waterless pedicure instead of soaking the feet. It is important that the client discuss with you any chronic conditions before the service so you may have the precautions and modifications that need to be considered. Safety considerations for the circulatory system. The circulatory system plays a huge role in nourishing, oxygenating, and cleansing all the systems at the cellular level. Ugh, that's a hard word to say altogether. It also helps regulate the body's temperature. Impaired circulatory function can contribute to slower healing, cause cold hands and feet, and signal contraindications for some services. A sudden drop in blood pressure can result in fainting, so light touch is ideal when pressure on certain areas of the throat and sinus cavities. Offer to help clients stand up after a service to help them avoid getting up too quickly. When you're doing a facial or doing a shampoo, set them up and ask them to just sit there for a few minutes to get their balance and get their blood flow back right. Because if they just go ahead and stand up, they could fall back down. During the consultation, acknowledge and discuss any medical conditions that your client has listed that may be contraindicated for massage, so the precautions and modifications can be considered. Examples of conditions are circulatory diseases, diabetes, peripheral artery diseases, arthritis, and high blood pressure. Some clients may have impaired foot or leg circulation or loss or feeling in their leg, feet or legs, and deep massage to lower leg can be skipped. If your client has not discussed massage with a physician, encourage them to do so. Many clients have high blood pressure, diabetes, or circulatory conditions may still have a hand or arm massage without concern, especially if their condition is stabilized and they are being treated by a physician. When making decisions about whether to perform a massage on a person who has a medical condition, be conservative. When in doubt, don't include massage as part of your service. Go ahead. I'm fine. Yes. All right, so the safety considerations for the muscular system. Cosmetologists should know voluntary muscles location and what they control. These muscles can become fatigued, excessive work, or injury. Clients can benefit from the massage techniques you incorporate into nail and skin care services. Improper massaging may also result in negative effects for clients, so it is important to understand the muscles' locations. So there's always a reason for us knowing everything that we're supposed to know, okay? Understanding the skeletal system will help you protect your own body by using proper body mechanics when you work. It can also help you determine placement of makeup during application and influence hair cutting and hairstyling options according to your client's facial bone structure. Okay, we're going to get more in depth in this, and like I said, we are going to be drawing our bodies and labeling them as the skeletal and muscle system later on in class within the next 2 weeks. So what I want you to do is, after this video, I want you to click on the next things, and you will be labeling the skull, the hand and arms, and the feet and legs, and the muscular systems in the arms and feet and legs, okay? And next week we will do a PowerPoint, and we will answer the questions in the book. I hope you enjoyed this video, so let me know, okay? Thanks.